Guys, welcome back to a brand new Disney Heroes Battle Mode video. And I'm excited for today's video because we're going to finally be talking about the next leaked character. Now, I've had a lot of you asking me to review Gadget, and I am quite excited, to be fair, because, well, she should be a relatively unique character. So obviously we reviewed the chipmunks in the last video last week. And to be honest with you, they were actually relatively cool characters. Like, they were quite unique. Nothing really... I didn't really think there was too much which I'd sort of write home about, but they were unique characters and it would be pretty cool. So I'm hoping that Gadget can take forward the powerhouse. So let's see. She can do fantastic damage, normal damage, and true damage. So it's basically got a bit of everything. She energizes and energizes herself. She can do basic damage increase and skill power increase. So a little bit of everything there. Now, need an invention in a jiffy? Gadget is your girl. Tiny yet mighty, the hero packs a punch. The enemies won't know what hit them. She's a damage hero, back, and she's yellow. Ooh, so she's kind of like Basil in the sense of her positioning and her role. Okay, so let's take a look at her skills. Now, I'm kind of hoping here, when we go down her skills, that these are going to be, because the last characters I did, I wasn't hugely excited about it. So let's have a look. Gadget whips out a magnet. Pulling the enemy, this already sounds awesome. Pulling the enemy the least remaining HP towards her. The enemy takes X amount of fantastic damage, and it's done for 5 seconds. Gadget knocks back all other enemies, and snares them for 3 seconds. Okay, so that is pretty cool, because it says, so this is quite cool here, because what you've got to consider is the enemy with the least HP will normally be the healer at the back, because they don't have a lot of max HP, so they should always have the lowest amount of HP, especially say if you had like Mulan to shoot the rocket at the back, or Ian to lightning bolt everybody, you know, because the idea of her special move here is you want to really be pulling back the healer at the back, then they'll go through everybody and snare them, which is pretty cool. I think that move's going to be awesome and it's going to look cool as well. Snared enemies, because I think this is a new thing, snare. Snared enemies have their movement speed reduced to... What? Their movement speed reduced to 0%, they can still use basic attacks and skills that are within range. That is naughty. So it's kind of like a freeze, but they're just trapped and they're not actually frozen. So it's kind of like a weirder version of freeze, which I think is pretty cool. So straight away, I think that special move is pretty cool. It's a bit better than the chipmunks, Chip and Dale. I already kind of am more excited to see Gadget in action. Now, plunger hold. At the beginning of each wave, Gadget fires her crossbow 5 times. That's ridiculous. At random enemies. Each plunger deals X amount of normal damage, knocks back and snares for 2 seconds. Now, it says 5 times at random enemies. It doesn't say single enemies. It doesn't say multiple. So this means that if the game... I wonder if that means that she could potentially hit the same person. Because if she hits the same person 2 or 3 times, there's a chance she could kill them instantly. So that's going to be very cool to look at. Then they've got about the snared enemies again. So again, that's going to be snaring enemies. So if she happens to hit all 5 enemies, there's a very big chance there that she's going to be able to stop everybody attacking for 2 seconds, just giving your team that extra little bit of time to get involved, which I think is pretty awesome. Nuts and bolts. Gadget pulls out her invention that malfunctions and sends a propeller at the farthest enemy. So again, that would normally be the healer. The propeller erupts in a hail of nuts and bolts, dealing X amount of normal damage to nearby enemies. plus bonus true damage to nearby enemies who are snared. Ooh. So, just picture this. Use her move. It grabs the person at the back, pulls everybody through. They're all snared. Then use nuts and bolts. Propeller flies through, explodes. Does loads of damage. Then loads of true damage. And true damage is the one which I think bypasses shields and armor. So that is going to be pretty mental. I'm actually quite excited to see what she's going to look like. I think this character's going to have fantastic animations. She's going to look really cool. And yeah, it's just something a little bit more unique. So I'm intrigued to see that. When an enemy is snared, gadgets gain X amount of basic damage for the rest of the wave, up to a maximum of 999,999, so about 9 million odd. So, which isn't too bad. Sorry, 1 million, which is okay. You know, that's a nice buff. Gadgets keep 33% of this buff from wave to wave. Now that's quite nice, because by the time you get to the third wave, she's going to do ridiculous amounts of damage. So looking at this, she's not going to be particularly great in Colosseum or Arena, because she can't keep her buffs. But she looks like she'll be fantastic in City Watch or in story mode. You know, so I wouldn't throw her away at the moment. I still think she's going to be really useful. When gadgets use magnetic deflection, the remaining cooldown on nuts and bolts is reduced by 1 second. So that's nice. So you want to make sure nuts and bolts is used, because obviously this is an automatic one. The cooldown is 10 seconds. So as soon as nuts and bolts are used, you want to use magnetic deflection to lower it so you can try and get nuts and bolts out again. Magnetic deflection deals more fantastic damage to the targeted enemy. What? And has a chance to apply 3 stacks of weakness for 10 seconds. The weakness application is a chance, yeah. And then she's just got buff, buff, buff. So, if I was to do, like I always like to do, a quick review here. What's my favourite move on her? Definitely nuts and bolts. I think it's definitely got to be nuts and bolts. That's going to look awesome when she's throwing the propeller and it explodes and just showers everybody in nuts and bolts. That is going to look mental. It's going to be absolutely crazy. So I'm excited to see that. So let's take a look at our friendships now. I mean, being honest, guys, Chip and Dale and Gadget don't particularly stand out to me. Like, I don't think they're better than Kermit or Ian or Clawhouse or my main team that I use. So, you know, that's what I'm always looking for. In my opinion, can they beat the top 5 characters I'm using at the moment? Yes or no? Anyway, so, Thorough Launch, more damage from Plunger Hold. So, a load more basic damage. Each plunger fired during Plunger Hold deals more normal damage. Gadgets fire 5 more... What? Alright, that's not on. That is not on. At the start of each wave, she's going to fire 10 plungers. Okay, that's obviously I know that's maxed out there. So each star's going to add another plunger, which is quite cool. Oh, she's got one with Clawhauser. Skill power. Strong pull. Max basic damage. That's pretty dead. Gadget snares last 3 seconds longer. Okay, that's really good, actually. That's really good, the snares. They're both actually relatively good there. So, guys, I want you to comment down below and let me know what you think of just forgotten her name, of what you think of Gadget. I think she's going to be an absolutely phenomenal character. And like I said, guys, I'm quite intrigued to see how she's going to stack up. I will obviously jump in and go through and, you know, do my normal nerf episodes on her when I can, which I'm always excited to do. The last character I tried was Vinny, and he was pretty beautiful, Vinny was. So if they can kind of keep that vibe up, guys, with the new characters, I'm happy. Because like I said, everything's been relatively good at the moment. So I'm just kind of hoping we can keep following trend with the new characters. Just keeping them awesome, keeping them looking cool. And yeah, you know, guys, just keep slaying it. Keep doing what you're doing. I hope you're all having a brilliant time, just in general. And I'll see all you beauties in the next one. And again, actually, what I do like to do is just look at Gadget, is she a rat? Mouse? GIF. Here we go. Oh, I remember this TV show, actually. Let's have a look. Yeah. I do remember the TV show on that. Okay, so pretty cool. But anyway, why is there a weird, like... What the... Oh, that's, Robot Chicken, I think it's called. Anyway, guys, hope you've enjoyed today's video. Smash that like and subscribe button. And I'll see you beautiful people in the next one.